Today, I've got a tip for you, and it's a game changer. It's a tip that's going to make eating a plant-based diet so much easier. I'm Shelley Peters, the place to embrace a plant-based life. Welcome everybody. I am super excited today because what I'm going to be describing to you is what I've been doing for at least 5 years, and it is an absolutely essential part of my success. I've been doing this for about 5 years, and it is planning and preparation. It's a simple thing to do. You can incorporate it into your week. Let me get into it and explain to you what it looks like. The planning part I do on Fridays. Friday mornings I have a 3-part plan that I do. I have the PDFs if you want to use them. They're just simple PDFs for a menu for the week, corresponding grocery list, and the Sunday food prep list. Those 3 PDFs are available in the description box below. There's something that I fill out every Friday morning. I happen to grocery shop on Friday after work, so I have my grocery list done. I take a photo of it with my phone, and by the time I get home Friday night, I've got my planning done so that I know what I'm going to be prepping on Sunday, and I've got my groceries all ready to go. Saturdays I happen to take as a total day of creativity. I don't do anything that isn't super fun. But Sunday morning between 9 and noon, I have that blocked off for Sunday food prep. And this is absolutely a game changer. You will take a block of time. I do it on Sundays because I love to start the week off on a clean note where I've got everything organized. I know what I'm eating for the week. My fridge is loaded with good options. My countertop has a nice big bowl of fruit on it. I know what I'm going to be eating. I don't have to decide. I have enough decisions to make. I'm sure you're as busy as I am. And the last thing I want to do is have to figure out when I get home from work or at the end of a busy day and say, what am I going to eat? I open the fridge and you're more likely to make a bad decision, to grab fast food, to just have something that doesn't have great nutritional value. But if you plan ahead like I do on the Friday and you fill out the three PDF sheets, the menu, the corresponding grocery list, and what you're going to do for Sunday prep, when Sunday morning comes around, you're ready to go. And listen, I do Sunday prep for between 2 and 3 hours on Sunday because obviously I make my health and wellness a priority. I've decided that this is really important to me, and it makes the rest of my week so easy. You don't have to do it that long. Even if you can only carve out a short amount of time to start with for Sunday prep, any amount will help you get set up for a more successful week. I think probably when you start, you're going to realize the power of this habit, and you'll be more willing to give it a little bit more time. So let me get into what I do on Sundays. So I've been doing this for about 5 years. I've been a vegan for 11, but about 5 years ago, I just really felt like I needed something to coordinate what I was eating. I was getting much more focused on getting really nutrient-dense foods, and I wanted to make sure I was making making good decisions for the menu for the week. So I do that. I often, when I'm doing the menu, I'll grab cookbooks. I'll get inspired by any new cookbooks around, or I'll flag recipes that I notice during the week if I'm looking at cookbooks. Those of you that follow me know that I eat a whole food, plant-based, no added oil diet, and that requires some planning. It requires me to be looking for recipes and creating recipes that are just loaded with flavor. I'm not using any oil, so I want the flavor component to be sky high. I don't have cardiac disease, so I do use nuts and seeds in some of my dressings. If you have cardiac disease and you want to go extremely low fat and avoiding nuts and seeds, that's absolutely doable as well, and you can learn how to do substitutions with that. But as it stands, I'm a whole food, plant-based, no added oil girl, and it's working really well for me. My health is better than it's ever been. I'm 57, and I'm telling you, I feel amazing. I'm definitely sticking with what's been working for the last 2 years and 11 years really with my plant-based diet overall. Okay, so Sunday rolls around, And I know that I take my dog on the trails. I work out every morning, so I take my dog on the trails and run with my dog around 8 o'clock. It's kind of a regular routine I have. And then at 9 o'clock, I'm in the kitchen. I already know what I'm doing because I have a Sunday prep list made. If I'm going to be really busy on that Sunday and I really only have an hour or 2 hours, then I tailor it to that. I pull a few things, extra things out of the freezer so that I don't have to do as much to make sure the week is successful. I always start with my salad bin. This is something that I highly recommend if you only do one thing, that you do a salad bin. I created the salad bin a couple of years ago, and originally it was just a simple Rubbermaid bin where I layered all kinds of greens, lettuces, kale, parsley, and I would chop up onions and all kinds of other vegetables to go on my salad depending on what I was doing that week. And I would fill this bin with it. Now, I recently went to visit my cousin who is following in my footsteps and also eating a whole food, plant-based, no added oil diet. And she took that salad bin to a whole new level. Thanks, Cheryl. And she went to Michael's and she got a craft bin. And the craft bin has a removable section on top that you can load up with all of your onions and cucumber and carrots and everything else that you want to put in your salad. The other thing I also do on Sundays is I make my salad dressing for the week. I make a generous amount. I want to be able to use that salad dressing for obviously my salad, but I also will drizzle it on a Buddha bowl if I'm doing, a Buddha bowl of some barley and brown and sweet potato and some roasted veg. I'll do a nice drizzle of my dressing and it just perks up the flavors tremendously. I change up my dressing every week and I make something a little bit different, but I do have a standard go-to absolute favorite. It's on my website. It's a tahini dressing and I've got the link in the description box below. So I've got my salad bin done. Oh, I will mention that anytime you pick up greens from the grocery store or the market, bring them home and soak them for 30 minutes in cold water. And you will literally rehydrate them and bring them back to life. Not only are you going to be washing them off so that they're clean and you can add them to your bin, letting them soak will literally bring them back to life. Oftentimes, if I go to the grocery store and I I buy in the organic section, sometimes the kale looks really sad. It's kind of wilted looking. I'll take a look at it and make sure that the kale is not actually rotting, that it's actually reasonably fresh. And you wait, you can bring that wilted looking kale home, soak it for 20 minutes in cold water, and it will spring back to life and be amazing for the whole entire week. So I've got my salad bin filled. I've got my salad dressing made. Those are the two primary things I want done because I have a salad every single day as part of what I eat. And if you want to know what I eat in a day, I'll link the YouTube video that describes what I eat in a day in the description box below. The other thing I will do on a Sunday prep day is I will roast a bunch of vegetables and also steam a bunch of vegetables. I often do potatoes and sweet potatoes. I'm a big potato girl. My roots are from PEI, so I love potatoes. And I will often put potatoes on, I will heat up potatoes and put them on top of my cool crisp salad for lunch. It's delicious. Heating up roasted veg or steamed potatoes and putting them on top of a cool crisp salad, it's delicious. And I'll drizzle a little bit of the dressing on top of the potatoes or whatever roasted veg I'm putting on, and below is the tossed and dressed greens that I've prepared. So I will do roasted veg, steamed veg. I use my Instant Pot to do steaming. I also happen to have a steam oven in my kitchen. I did a renovation a few years ago, and that was one of the first things I wanted to get. So I can steam a lot of things in my steam oven, but listen, if you've got an Instant Pot, they are perfect for steaming. You've got the little basket that can go in. You put about a cup of water in, 6 sweet potatoes, I think about 12 to 15 minutes on steam, and they are perfection. They're so good. I love those sweet potatoes as well. If I've made some kind of a casserole, a one dish casserole, maybe a chickpea Moroccan casserole, I will often have a sweet potato on the side. And it's such a delicious addition when you're doing a really spicy casserole or a spicy entree that you've made in advance. And to add a sweet potato to the side as a side dish is just delicious. So I will do that. And then I always do one main entree. I sometimes do two because remember, I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm pretty good at going fast. I will do at least one main entree at my Sunday prep, and I do a big batch because what I want to do is not only have enough for the week and maybe invite someone over midweek to join me, I also want to put a few servings in the freezer. I'm always boosting up the contents of my freezer with really great options because what if at some point I need a quick meal that is healthy? I've got great options in my freezer. There are two things that I do at the Sunday prep time that make a huge difference in my week and definitely in the flavor of my food. Two things. One is making date paste and the other one is making blended lemon. Let me explain. I'll start with the date paste. Date paste is so simple to make. Take dates, take the pits out if they're the medjool dates with the pits in them, and put 1 cup in, I just use my small blender. I put 1 cup of dates, 1 cup of boiling water, let it sit for about an hour, 20 minutes if you don't have time, and then blend with a high-speed blender into a paste. And then you add 1 teaspoon of this blended lemon, which I'm going to explain to you. You can also just use lemon juice if you don't end up doing this blended lemon. And the lemon juice in the date paste just perks the flavor and makes it a beautiful sweetener that's a whole food. So I use the date paste to sweeten my oat bowls in the morning, my smoothies. Even if I'm making a sauce and I want a little hint of sweet just to balance out the flavor, perfect. Date paste is the answer. So I always have a big jar of date paste in the fridge. I do actually 2 cups of dates, 2 cups of water, it's equal parts, because I go through a lot and I also have a couple of other family members here who use it. So that's the date paste. Now, the lemon, the blended lemon comes in a couple of steps. I get 3 organic lemons. The reason I want them organic is because I'm going to be using the zest, and I zest all 3 of them, and I take the zest and put it in a small container. That zest is gorgeous for putting, on top of your oats, on top of your salad, in a smoothie, in a sauce. Lemon zest is delicious. It's a boost of flavor, and it just brings a lot of dishes to life. Then I take the zested lemons and I peel them. I peel the white pith off and I cut them in half so that I can take out whatever seeds I can see. And then I take those peeled lemons and put them in my blender and I blend them up. And it looks like a blended lemon. You can see that the fiber from the lemon is still there because I want the maximum amount of fiber I can get. And so I use whenever I need lemon juice, I use my blended lemon, and it just comes in so handy. In fact, because I don't cook with oil, I often will grab my blended lemon and put a couple of tablespoons in while I'm reheating some roasted veg. And these are two things to do that will just make your cooking and the experience of the plant-based food so much better. So that's the overall gist of what I do for my Sunday prep. What you'll do when you start is start slow, start small, and just do what you can manage. I would recommend getting your family and friends involved. If you've got a partner that's, even if they're not necessarily eating the whole food plant-based diet with you, bring them on board. Get them to start, chopping vegetables and helping you roast stuff up. And you can really, it's really fun. I put amazing music on. I actually love my prep time. I make it really, really fun. I put on fantastic music. I'm looking forward to what I'm making. I'm often trying to either develop a new recipe or I'm trying out something new. And I make it really fun. I really enjoy it. So customize yours, and trust me, over time, you'll get better and better, and you'll be able to get more and more done. And the power of that, it's amazing. So again, I can't emphasize the power of this habit of planning ahead with the menu, the corresponding grocery list, and the Sunday prep plan, and then actually doing the Sunday prep, these steps are absolutely critical for you to be a success at plant-based eating. And I invite you to give it a shot because it is an amazing thing to get going. It will change your life. So thanks for joining me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and why don't you subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of my tips and tricks for leading a plant-based life. Thanks. Can't wait to see you again. Take care.